Okay, so good evening. We'll just have another class today now for the MA Political Science. This is the third paper. Welcome to Marathi Rosundari Open University and Master of Arts Political Science. Course name is International Politics and PLM. Actually, 6213. The course code. Okay, so let us begin the session. I'm your faculty Panthor Devarma, and this is my contact details. The email you have contact or the phone number during the office hour. I'm available. Introduction. We are going with the block 2 about the international relation, about functional system theories, corporation models. We're going to discuss what is feminism role in understanding international relation. We are going to discuss Unit 8 national interest and security concept, how the country try to protect their own interests, how what a country want, what kind of security is required. Unit 9, we are going to discuss about power, balance of power, and deterrence mechanisms. Unit 10, Cold War, just nuclear war evolution, about that. Learning goals, analyze complex state interaction. So these are the things to be discussed in today's session. So from block 1, we studied about the approaches about international relations, basically about realism and liberalism, all that such. Today we are going to really understand the basic understanding that is required to understand. 4 things. Cooperation versus competition, okay, tension. Okay, some people are trying to cooperate, some people are trying to compete in international politics. Theoretical diversity, functionalism to feminism. We're going to discuss there. Also, practical concepts like power, security, and balance are to be discussed in today's class or PCP session, Personal Contact Program. Contemporary relevance, we are going to discuss, explain Ukraine, Taiwan, US, and attention. Okay, Indian constants, what is non-alignment, what is Quad, what is BRICS, what are their position in today's world. We'll be having a discussion on that thing. So let's see about the functionalist theory. Like David Mitrani in 1943, right? The working peace through functional agencies. So whatever people try to make things function through a systematic manner, that is called functional agencies. Core principle is they're trying to solve technical problem first, political unity later. So obviously I say function means they are trying to solve the technical issues first and then address the other political elements later on. So they are the functionalist theory. Mechanism, specialized agencies. That means they are trying to address the functional or system of something. That means they are trying to go through the agency and functional thing. So like World Health Organization is a thing, they try to bring good health in the world, FAQ, okay, food, UNESCO education, technical cooperation, build trust, spillover. Technical cooperation, build trust, and spillover. So when the countries they cooperate technically, okay, so automatically it helps in spillover effect is good. That's what it means to say. Economic cooperation, monetary, political unions, okay. So when this agency they cooperate technically, so obviously economic cooperation, monetary, political union happens. Example is European Poland Steel Committee 1951 to European Union now. Okay, so you can see a very classic example of this thing. Unit 6, one more is system theory by very popular David Easton 1965 IRS, a system with input output. Okay, so if the one input output will come, so this is like a whole process, like a demand and supply in economic subject. Key feature is holism, study whole system, not isolated part. Okay, so then the focus of Mr. David Easton is that we should not study just international politics as part of the part, but as a whole, how does it behave as a whole? Interdependent states, okay, NGO, states, MNCs mutually influence each other. So we have to also discuss about that. Feedback loops, negative stability versus positive change. We are going to discuss about stability versus positive change. Boundary system versus environmental restriction. Okay, so these things are very much important part which you can read in your SLM. Subsystem state plus internal solution plus NGO. So in system theory, that means it is built up as a system. We human beings are also like a system. We have our hands, legs, body, okay, eyes. So we have a system functioning like a machine. Also, you can go, you can walk here, you can. I look this side. So this is a system. So international solution is a system comprising of state, international organization, NGO, according to David Easton. Example is that World Health Organization (WTO) dispute create system-wide feedback. So WQ is a system where they try to resolve the problem. So this is about the system theory in international politics. So that is now about the unit 6. Now unit 7, if we go to gender dichotomies in IR masculine, femininity, binary, Tickner in 1992 wrote about this thing. Masculinity value is, we talk about rationality. Feminism, they value more emotionally. Okay, masculinity, they talk value about public sphere. Female, they talk about private sphere. Masculine talk about strength, female talk about weakness. Masculine protector, they are talking about protected objectivity and subjectivity. So these are very much important highlight. You could definitely see here what is the difference between masculine and feminine. So realist bias moralities masculine values, feminist reformation power, weak versus power over. Okay, so these are the things, very interesting concept. I hope you have understood this very simple concept. Unit 7 is gender security, continuation of previous subjects, state security versus human security. Let's see. Traditionally, in the previous earlier times, the main security problem was military and territory defense. So we try to protect more about military and army building and territory. Feminism, they try to talk about personal safety, economic security, and health. So this is the difference between traditional and feminist idea about what kind of security they are talking about. Traditionally, you can see the armies here. They are trying to buy big guns. They try to make bigger tanks so that they can protect and fight with one another. War, gender impact, systematic rape. Bosnia and 1992 ethnic cleansing is an example of war gender problem. Okay. Comfort women, Japan World War II was there. Women were forced to engage in sexual activities. Peacekeeper abuses, UN mission. Okay. So these are some very important factors where feminism comes to play, where the women have been exploited, so to say something as such. Okay. Protector myth, men protect women, false narrative. Okay, so they are even saying that male protect women is a false narrative by them. So national interest. What is national interest? Very important concept when you are discussing actually the international relation is that core component survival, territorial integrity, and sovereignty. What a national interest first a country try to do is that territorial integrity. This territory should be under my control, and I should be independent, and I should not be influenced by other people. So that is one important thing. Prosperity. A country is always trying to do economic growth and resource security. Okay? Always planning how we can grow economically and how our resource can be secured. Ideology, democratic values, religious identity. Our ideology is that these were democratic countries that try to increase the democratic value and our religion should be protected. So those are the values and what things that define a national interest. Realist view, what they say is that power is a national interest. Every country is actually trying to become powerful day by day. That is liberalism. I mean realism. Liberal, what they say is cooperation, expand, absolute gain. So this was liberal. They always try to talk about cooperation among the countries. In India, 1971, Bangladesh intervention for security. 1991 possibility, non-alignment, ideological autonomy. So these are how the national interest that India have done as an example. You can see there. So let's see security evolution. Traditionally, military alliances was the most important, like NATO, deterrence, nuclear map, balance of power. So these are the most important actually about the traditional security issues. So now what have come in today's world is that human security, UNDP 1994, 7 areas. These are a very important concept you can learn about it. Comprehensive security Japan model. Okay. Japan is very popular for this comprehensive security. And feminist security, gender-based violence. So traditionally, these were the only things, but now what are the things that have come? You can definitely see here. India's security, China border plus Pakistan nuclear plus Indian Ocean. So these are some of the things that India have to cover right now, not just military and deterrence and balance of power. So this discussion just have a small video to understand the balance of power. So that was about the balance of power. I hope you have learned about it, what is balance of power means. Okay. So let's go to unit 9, which talk about power and balance dynamics. Okay, power types. What kind of powers are there? What kind of countries can a country have? First is hard power, military, US carriers, and they are one of the very important component here. And the next is economic. China, their Emperor initiative, their hard power through economy and military, they try to control. Soft power, culture, K-pop. Through K-pop, think they can influence you a way of thinking. If they hear a song, as such in the song, they say do that, to do this. This is our culture. They influence. So these are soft power. Diplomacy, Indian vaccines, like during the COVID time, basically there was a huge diaspora of Indian vaccine COVID time. So these are some example of hard power and soft power, which you should remember. Soft power also include like playing sports and like kind of what is that? Going one place to that place also. It's also an invitation to programs are all part of soft power. Balance of power. How does it happen? Is that like during the US versus US in 1947 to 1991, after the World War II, there was a stability because two of course are fighting, but they are not really fighting in a Cold War process. So they bring stability, bipolar. That is called balance of power. When power is balanced. Multipolar one in today's world, USA also powerful, China also, India also, Russia also. They're all trying to be powerful in today's world. So there is more complexity than what has been in the earlier times. Hegemonic prevention alliance Quad versus China. Okay, so to prevent someone to become more powerful, some group of organizations are formed, and that's how they determine or balance this thing. Okay, so these are the things. In Unit 9, deterrence strategies. How do they determine stop nuclear deterrence? How to stop the nuclear? MAD is a incident when US Cold War stability that brought minimum credible deterrence Indian doctrine. Okay, we are always trying to keep our nuclear power to a minimum level. Convention with the armed races, forward deployments, proxy wars, Syria and Yemen, like a fake war they try to do. That's how also it is prevented. Conventional deterrence means through more production of arms and forward deployments. Emerging domains. Okay, cyber deterrence also now very much popular. Cyber threat and US cyber command is there. That's how they try to stop one country from acting too much powerful through cyber control. Space deterrence through aspect. So when you control the space, when you are monitoring the world through the space, there is where also you can stop lots of things from happening in international politics. So those are the things how to control that. In basically talks about the Cold War. I wanted to read about the SLM. 1947 to 1991. What happened? What are the futures? Was alliance, ideology, and proxy. So alliance was NATO versus the Warsaw Pact. Ideology was capitalism versus communism. Very, very important while you are studying political science, or any academic person should know what is capitalism, what is communism. That was the two men competing for during the Cold War. Proxies war. There was a proxy war in Korea and Vietnam. Okay, Anglo-Afghanistan. USSR, they are having Anglo and Afghanistan okay, they are having their proxy war in Afghanistan, Angola. So new Cold War 2002, US China tech threat decoupling has been happening now. Also, you can see some kind of Cold War, that is US versus US China technology. Key takeaway: I are equal to cooperation plus competition. In international relations, international politics, what you have to do is to survive, and to survive long, you have to cooperate plus you have to compete with the people. So this is the thing. So today's has been short due to some emergency. The lecture has been not too long. Okay. So in the next lesson, we'll try to discuss more comprehensively, and can feminism reshape security policy, India's position in multipolar world. So it is a very good discussion to be made. If you have any queries, you can always ask me. I'm here to answer to your doubts. Okay. So this was about the block 2 and understanding about international politics. Next, I'll see you in the next class with the block 3. Thank you so much.